Just add this one thing to your bread and it will stay fresh for days. Hi friends, it's Nancy here. Don't throw away an entire loaf of bread just because you ate a few slices and the rest turned stale or spoiled. With prices going up every day, that's a real waste. Stay with me today to learn my grandmother's secret for keeping bread fresh longer. Is there anyone here who enjoys baking their own bread or often buys long loaves of bread, but isn't quite sure how to store them properly? Most people start cutting from the front of the loaf and continue slicing toward the other end. The problem is that every time you cut a slice, a large portion of the soft interior is exposed to the air. Over time, that exposed surface begins to lose moisture, causing the bread to dry out more quickly. Instead, cut the first slice right from the center of the loaf. Take the slices you need, then gently press the two remaining halves back together so the cut surfaces touch each other. To make this method even more effective, I use plastic wrap to hold the loaf together and help keep the pieces from separating. What makes this method work is that the soft interior of the bread helps protect itself. By pressing the cut surfaces together, you reduce the amount of air that comes into contact with the crumb. Less air means less moisture loss, helping the bread stay soft and fresh for a longer time. With this method, I can keep bread fresh for at least 3 days at room temperature without worrying about it drying out. How do you usually store bread at home? Share your favorite method with me in the comments so we can learn more helpful kitchen tips together. Here's another simple trick that helps bread stay soft and fresh longer without needing any special storage containers. First, make sure the bread has cooled completely if it has just been baked. Then take 2 to 3 clean paper towels or kitchen towels and gently wrap them around the loaf. What I like about this method is that the paper towels act as a moisture balancing layer. If condensation builds up inside the bag, the paper towels absorb some of the excess moisture to help reduce the risk of mold. At the same time, they help prevent the bread from drying out too quickly compared to leaving it directly exposed to the air. Next, place the paper towel-wrapped loaf into a food-safe plastic bag or bread bag and seal it closed. Don't wrap the towels too tightly, just wrap them loosely so the bread still has a little space inside. Whenever you need some bread, open the bag, cut the amount you need, then wrap the loaf again using the same paper towels before returning it to the bag. And remember to cut the loaf from the middle rather than from one end. If the paper towels become too damp after a few days, replace them with fresh, clean, dry ones. With this storage method, whole wheat bread will usually stay soft and maintain good flavor for about 4 to 5 days at room temperature, depending on the temperature and humidity in your home. Next, I'd like to share a simple bread storage tip from my grandmother that has been passed down through generations. First, remove the leaves and keep only the celery stalks. Wash the celery thoroughly and dry it completely with a clean towel. Then place the celery inside the bag next to the remaining bread before sealing the bag. That's all there is to it. No special containers, no expensive equipment, and no complicated steps. So why does this method work? Celery naturally contains a large amount of water. Over time, it slowly releases a small amount of moisture into the air inside the bag. This helps create a more balanced environment that prevents the bread from drying out too quickly. The moisture is gentle enough to help maintain softness without making the bread wet or soggy. I usually use this trick for sandwich bread. I have also seen it work well with other types of soft bread. The first time I heard my grandmother talk about this method, I was a little skeptical. It sounded too simple to be effective. But after using it myself for many years, I was genuinely surprised by the results. What do you think about this storage method? If it sounds useful, give it a try at home and let me know the results in the comments. If you make a large batch of sweetbread rolls or cannot finish them, within a few days, freezing is one of the best ways to keep them soft and fresh for a long time. First, wrap each roll individually in plastic wrap or parchment paper. Then place all of them into a large zip-top freezer bag. Before sealing the bag, try to press out as much air as possible. Air is one of the main reasons bread dries out and develops freezer burn during storage. The most important part of this method is wrapping each piece of bread individually so you can take only what you need each time without having to thaw the entire bag. Sweet bread rolls stored this way usually maintain excellent quality for about 2 to 3 months. When you're ready to enjoy them, simply remove the rolls from the freezer and let them sit on the kitchen counter for about 1 to 2 hours. They will gradually soften and return to a texture very similar to freshly baked bread. If you prefer them warm, you can heat them in the oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit 150 degrees Celsius for about 3 to 5 minutes. The crust will become lightly soft, the inside will stay fluffy and tender, and the buttery aroma will become even more inviting. Trust me, this is a wonderful method for busy days. You can always have homemade sweetbread rolls ready at home without having to bake a new batch every time you want a quick breakfast or a snack with a warm cup of tea. From now on, you won't have to eat a few slices of bread and then regret throwing away the rest because it has gone stale. If you have your own bread storage tips, please share them in the comments so we can all learn from each other. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next video.